What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Masculinity is still attractive. Still is, still gonna be, still will be, right? We have evolved thousands and thousands of years with masculine men being the main men carrying on their genes, okay? Because let's face it, if a woman is calling over a guy for the 10 o'clock slot, we all know what the 10 o'clock slot, the 10 o'clock pounding, right? She's not going to be calling Jellyback John. She's going to be calling up G.I. Joe. If you're too young to know who G.I. Joe is, look him up. She wants a hard body. She wants a guy that is masculine, okay? Because you for shit show, no, she's not going to save her sneaky link, right? Even though I don't really support that type of stuff. But if we talking in modern terms, if she's pinning down her 10 o'clock pound guy, it's not going to be no Jellyback John with a limp Disney, right? He walking in there looking like Pillsbury Doughboy, right? He don't got no kind of masculine dominance about him. He's just real limp with it. She's not going to be calling him, okay? She's going to be calling G.I. Joe to come in and handle business like a G, right? And I'm going to get right into it. First of all, this is Tarik Talks. You guys could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I humbly appreciate it. Fellas, do not listen to what the mainstream media is telling you guys. I know we see the mainstream media more than ever promoting men to act like softies, right? To act like these limp wrist, soft jellybacks. Jellyback John. This is what mainstream media is encouraging young men to act like. And these young men, it's unfortunate, now more than ever, they're trying to erase any kind of masculinity. And the bad part about this is when these young men are growing up being this whole, she's my queen, I'm going to pedestalize her and be subservient to her, while they're doing all of that and getting pretty much nothing, right? They're going to see, and I'm just talking about school now. I'm not talking about the adulthood. This is going to start real early. They're going to see that a-hole guy, right? They're going to see the a-hole Andrew, right? The jock. The typical, I'm just going to keep it generic. The typical jock guy, the typical masculine guy. They're going to see him get with the finest chick in the school. We've all seen this before. No matter what type of environment you grew up in, no matter if you grew up in a hardcore hood or you grew up in the suburbs and middle class, anywhere in between, you have seen a dynamic where the guy that would be considered an a-hole, right? Would be considered by the mass media an a-hole. You see him getting all the chicks and you're like, dang, man, I'm this very soft, very jellyback John, and I'm not getting nothing. I'm not getting no kind of results. All I'm getting is this chick getting pounded by a-hole Andrew. All she's doing after she gets pounded is coming to me for moral support and telling me shit like, I wish I had a man like you. When the whole time you're like, wait a minute, I am a man like myself. What the hell is you talking about? I am a man like myself. But this is the type of stuff you're gonna hear if you act like a soft back jellyback John. This is the type of results you're gonna get, and it's gonna be confusing because on one hand, society is telling you to act this way. We all see it, fellas. There's no hiding it no more. Even Disney is doing this whole thing of the same group kissing and all that. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm talking about, which is completely fine. Them folk that's their business, okay? I know a lot of folk, a lot of great folk that are into the same gender action type of deal. We all know what I'm talking about, right? A lot of cool ones, so I'm not talking mess about them at all. But if you are a young man that is into females, trust and believe, if you want a female to be attracted to you, trust and believe you better act masculine to some extent. I know everyone has their I know everyone has their own personality. Some of you guys might be a little more on the joking side. Some of you guys are funny. You're just naturally funny. Some of my fellas are naturally more serious. They're naturally more quiet. Whatever it is, make sure that you stand up for what you believe in. Make sure that if you disagree with something, you make sure that you voice your opinion. Make sure that you are at least in some kind of physical sport, physical activity. You don't gotta go out there and do hardcore Muay Thai, Okay, you don't got to go out there and do hardcore taekwondo. No, weightlifting, basketball, anything. Even if you are not that good in it, participate in it, because what this will do is it's going to build up your essence, your essence as a man, that physicality, which is extremely important. All right, guys, look, these young ladies, bro, they're not calling up some guy that acts just like them, right? That dresses just like them, that talks just like them, and like a real soft, feminine type of manner. They're not calling this guy for the 10 o'clock slot, all right? They're not reserving their 10 o'clock slot for him. They're reserving it for that guy that when she looks at him, she is like, this dude looks like he can pound my cheeks into next Sunday, okay? Females naturally want guys a little more solid, not only in the physical sense, which does help. And fellas, you don't got to be no freaking bodybuilder, right? You don't have to be Mr. Olympia. You don't have to be Ronnie Coleman, lightweight, baby, right? You just have to be fit. You just have to look like you take care. You have to look solid, because trust and believe, when these young ladies are looking for a guy for their 10 o'clock slot, they're looking for a guy that can go ahead, get behind them and tap them cheeks into next Sunday, that can slam them sideways, Paul Wall style. You feel me? That can have them sitting sideways after the session, after their bed session. That's what they want, okay? Naturally, this is the natural order of things. Men are the aggressors. And I'm not saying that word in a negative way. It's just what it is. This is why we're way more better when it comes to sports, when it comes to competitive stuff. This is our arena, okay? This is our arena because we're just better at it. For the most part, you do have outlier ladies, right? Like Ronda Rousey, she could fight her ass off, but that's just like 1%, as opposed to men in general have more strength, okay? Because Ronda Rousey is not beating Mike Tyson's ass. Put them both on their prime, Mike Tyson will wipe her out clean. You feel me? That just goes to show you that men are naturally the aggressors, whether it comes to the dynamic of, of a relationship, or a dynamic of when you're talking to her, and the dynamic of the bedroom, right? The guy is always the more aggressive one, right? He's the one going up inside. He's the one ramrodding, right? And a lot of you guys get it misconstrued, because unfortunately the mainstream media is telling you to be everything but masculine. As a matter of fact, it is almost looked down upon to encourage men to be masculine. It's almost a taboo to tell guys to be masculine, right? Imagine going on mainstream TV, and we all know mainstream media is weird. Let's just put it like that, right? Imagine going on mainstream and saying men need to act a little more masculine. Imagine how much lashback that person is gonna get. But we ain't sweating that, because you ain't worried about that. You have your own, you have your own world, bro. You are your own world. Look, a chick can say all of that stuff about girl power and empowerment, this and that. When she dealing with you, right? It's a whole nother story. Tell her, look, shh, mama, look, I can dig all of that, but at the same time, I can't dig all of that. You feel me? So either I get mutual respect, right? I'm gonna give you a quick example just to illustrate what I'm talking about. If she is late on the date, a lot of young ladies will feel like they're entitled to be late and feel like you have no say-so in that, okay? Tell her, hey, look, ma, you're late. And you don't have to be a raging a-hole about it. Matter of fact, that's the last thing you should be. Tell her calmly, hell, even throw it out in a joking manner, but let her know, hey, look, you're late, right? We agreed on 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever. You kind of late. I would appreciate if you were kind of mindful of that, if you was mindful of that next time. And hell, a lot of times, bro, like when I told young ladies that, they're like, I'm sorry, of course I had my outliers. Of course I had the ones that just wanted to flex their muscle, because No way in hell a man telling them to be on time, right? But for the most part, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. And bam, they bought me a extra shot, or they bought me a drink or something like that. They never had a guy tell them that. It's a nice change, right? This is just one example. And you're not being an a-hole about it, right? Notice how I told you you're not being an a-hole about it. You standing your ground does not mean you have to be an a-hole. The calmest person has the most power, right? A person that's calm, you always want to, that's why they always tell you, watch out for the silent ones. Same thing when you are getting across your point. You don't want to be loud. You don't want to be rowdy. You just want to state your purpose one time. If that one time does not suffice, if it's going to be a constant problem, a constant argument, let's go back to the time issue. If her being on time is such a big issue and she gets so offended, be like, okay, hey, look, I can dig that. You don't need to interact with this young lady no more. Bam. That is masculinity. Was any part of that toxic? Hell nah. Was it standing up and respecting yourself? Of course, fellas, being masculine does not mean calling yourself an alpha 81 times in a video, right? It does not mean poking out your chest, trying to be someone you're not. No, it is just, like I said, some men are a little more on the funny side. Some men are a little more on the quiet, reserved side. And either which way, there's a balance. There's a balance to put in masculinity, right? Just like young ladies, there's ladies on the more funnier side, and there's ladies on the more quieter side, right? On the more shyer type of side, okay? But in any case, they are sweet, you know what I'm saying? They of course, and of course I'm not saying for women to just be doormats and let men, you know, do all kind of vile stuff to them. I'm not saying that at all. But if the man is being masculine in a respectful, cool way, their feminine side will show just as much, whether they're the funny type or whether they're the more quiet, reserved type. In any which case, it's gonna work. It's gonna gel together. The polar opposites attract together, as opposed to if you're acting soft as hell, no matter if the chick is super shy or super funny and just like, you know, extroverted, she's not gonna respect you. Even a shy, quiet one, she's gonna be like, okay, this dude's soft, I'm soft, this is not gonna work, right? And even the chicks that are soft and shy, guess what? When it's time for them for that 10 o'clock action, make it happen, Captain, right? That they don't want a guy that's soft. They want that G.I. Joe diz, right? They want you to go in. Of course, they want that little, you know, they want the softer side. They want the masculine gentleman side. But when it come right down to it, they want that action, Captain, right? So make it happen. Anyway, that being said, I hope you guys liked the video. Peace.